Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Lines Forever. We are on the new map pool for the ladder with 30 maps in it. So the plan for this video is just to go through random games on some maps that people are probably not as familiar with or familiar with at all, in fact, with some of these maps. So the first one, so yeah, don't expect some epic super high quality games or anything. It's more about the maps here. And just gonna maybe tell you a little about the maps, help you out so you can adapt to this pool a bit better. And you're spamming all those ladder games. First, the players, Thomas Hyatt, the Ladder Warrior, and Dead Metal, who I don't know who Dead Metal is, but I think he gets Smurf checked just constantly. Not sure who he is. He wasn't in Aeolus at the time, so right now, so I can't see what flag he's got. Not that you can trust the flag. So anyway, the map. Desert Arena 5x5 map, and it's got absurd mass rocks everywhere. So that means build-wise, you can go late on mexes, but people seem to kind of go overboard sometimes. Some people go too much for reclaim and don't expand well enough, fast enough, which can put them behind. So you wanna definitely get these attack move engineers down and get these groups of rocks, especially the tightly packed ones. You can also like place a factory. You can get an engineer and you can place a factory here and then pause the engineer and he'll go and reclaim super fast all the stuff under the factory, but he won't build the factory. Nice trick, especially for this map, because there's certain parts which have a lot of reclaim. So you want to go real heavy on engineers at the start, because you're just going to be next to your base, so you can't really get raided. Air is risky, but if you kill the right engineers, you can do a lot of damage. You can definitely. Engineers are extremely useful. Well, they're a really important resource in this map at the start of the game. You need the build power to actually make all the P-gens and the factories and reclaim all the mass. So killing engineers, always good. So you can see both these players have, especially Thomas. Thomas actually has not built a tank yet. That's also because he only has 2 factories up and one of them is an air factory. He's going for that Jester. I don't know if he assisted. Yeah, he was assisting the factory to try to get that Jester out. So this is a risky move to go for this, but let's see if it pays off. Definitely a great tool for killing engineers, much better than a Cyber Bomber at that, which can be dodged very easily. And you head straight for the base, kill what you can until you're forced away by anti-air, and then kill, say this guy over here would be a good target. A is gonna work. It's time to run. The Jester, unlike the Renegade, which is the T2 Cyber gunship, can actually shoot while moving. That's an unfortunate tank. Cut out by the ACU. Slow expansion from these players at the minute, I would say. I mean, you know, reclaim is nice, but mexes are extremely nice. They're just so efficient. You can't really justify delaying them too much in most scenarios, unless you're on some. I mean, if you're on the ditch or something. Maybe you delay a bit more, or DeRosa you can delay a bit more, but even so, don't overestimate reclaim compared to mexes. So let's see, can they actually spend their shit? Dead Metal again, no expansion here. He could definitely do with more reclaiming engineers. The hydros are a huge boost. You ought to be getting as fast as possible. They're just hydro is so efficient. Thomas over here, yeah, he's okay balanced, not too bad. Again, hydros should be a priority, and more of everything. More of everything. He's doing better on reclaim. Want to keep an eye on your engineers, move them around, move the attack moves around as you need to. The Jester, is that a new Jester? It must be, yeah. It's full HP and has no kills, so lost the original one. Oh, there he is, I think. But he did nice damage, kill this engineer over here. Still no expansion from Dead Metal, come on. Get on it. Got some Shift G action over here, which just allows you to get all the tanks shooting the one target. That's really, I mean, when you can concentrate your DPS like that, it's pretty sickening. Factory spam from Thomas. Still trouble. You can definitely make eco on this map because it's so, as I've said before in previous casts, 13 build power in a T1 Mex is a lot of build power, and it's basically free build power, so start upgrading those mexes. He has mass in the bank. The Jester is not being protected at all, but still gonna get a couple of kills on these NGs. That's annoying. He's gonna have to redo his order. And Dead Metal looks to be struggling with this map right now. Thomas. Okay, they're both kind of struggling with the map. Again, Hydros, guys. So we're going to speed it up a little bit. Jesters just flying around. There's no inties to protect them. They're dying to anti-airs. Yep, no one's taking mexes. So we can see here. This is really why I'm making the video. You know, people are not used to these maps. They're used to 7 maps in the pool, and they have build orders, I guess, and maybe you see that this pool is desperately needed to help some players learn some new skills that haven't been required in the ladder maps they're used to. So T2 land, you can go pretty fast T2 land on this map. You can see how much production he has. He's actually not idling any of these factories either. He's actually using all of it, all of this production. Now making the gun with a lot of assists. He can't really afford that. Could probably just skip the assist, and his eco would be pretty nicely balanced. Hydra finally going up in this position. Hasn't secured this. PD's really good to help you not have to react to absolutely everything instantly. Get some PD up in your expansion, buy yourself some time. Always good. And 2k mass in the bank. You can see it's a lot of mass that he can't spend. Also, he couldn't spend it because he had so much power, so much of a power stall going on, and I think Dead Metal is just about crushed. So you can see this map. You want to be making a million NGs, and you want to have them building shit all the time. Attack moves from all your factories. And now the gun com appears, and it should be over. So the gesture harassment was nice, but I think Dead Metal could, it was okay. Dead Metal could react a bit better to it and avoid some of that damage he took. Also, expansion quite slow, even from Thomas as well. Should be aiming for the Hydras a bit faster. And yeah, that's that. Guncom, certainly powerful strategy on any 5x5, but yeah, this one too. So let's try another replay. Let's just grab one on another map that you won't have seen on previous pools. Kind of laggy. Let's try this one. Hmm. Ah. UD with, I think most players' reaction would be similar. WTF. FF, FFFF, FFFF, FFF. So, Comet Catcher mirrored, it was supposed to be the white version, but we got the red version. One mix to begin with, but there's a whole lot more to grab. So this map is a funny map. There's no such thing as a base on this map. Only mexes, and you can think of it like the most carefully delineated map control. So you don't you control exact percentages of the map. You don't control, well, I have this base and this base. You just control every part of your half of the map. You have to control all of it. So you gotta make a lot of units. Also, air gonna be really strong. So you want to get an air factory, make use of this Hydra to get your air factory up. Labs early on. You can do, if you can micro a bit, you know, labs can absolutely destroy a lot of players who are not very attentive to their engineers, which is a lot of players. It's probably most players would get wrecked by labs on this map, I think. Definitely want to make use of this reclaim as UD is doing, because you only start with a few mexes that are close to you, but very quickly you're going to have a lot of mass. So spam, spam, spam. Mantis always going to be good here. ACU, difficult to use on this map because it can be avoided easily. Because as you can see, it's essentially an open plane across the entire map. I'm not sure the exact size of the map because it says 10x10 and that's definitely not a square. So I imagine it's 10 vertical, but it's certainly not as wide as it is tall. Still no air factory. I'm kind of surprised UD goes fourth there here. I would be scared of bombers doing possibly insane damage. Radars early gonna be needed, to be honest. I mean, a radar, say in this position where this guy is, gonna help you with the sneaky raids that can happen. And another one over here somewhere. in this crater, perhaps. It's nice and safe, but you want to be making a lot of T1 spam to actually control all these mexes. Also, I mean, just the sheer number of engineers you need to expand is actually surprising. So I would just advise grabbing engineers and just queuing up like a lot of mexes, like at least 5-6 mexes, and then just try and defend them as best you can. But you might not be. You're not gonna save all your engineers. You're not gonna protect them all. But that's fine. You just have to make sure that you're annoying and spam your mantis into his engineers as well. Gestures gonna be nice on this map, and bombers. Air control generally. It's just gonna be a huge help. So, what does fast expansion mean on this map? I mean, you just want to have engineers moving real fast, get as many mechs as possible. PD, very necessary. Walls are a possibility, but it's gonna be tough to actually make walls big enough and control enough area with that. So UD, nice balance. You can see he has a lot of engineers building power. He has 4, that's quite a few, and it's needed. He has 35 T1 mexes right now, so this is definitely a map where you can eco. You can go for tech, you get the T3 rush out. Loy is obviously going to be super strong, hard to stop. And you're probably going to want a T2 gen pretty quick, considering the amount of mass. I would expect UD to eco off this. Can see he looks to have more units right now. Trying to be annoying with them, but there's just PDs scattered everywhere. He has Medusa mixed in, but he's not even stopping to kill the PD. Just stunning it and running past. That's pretty funny, actually, to be honest. There's groups of mantis just diving into horny robot's territory. UD with so much mass in the bank, and he's not ecoing. Is this really UD playing? UD not ecoing. Bizarre. Horny robot, is he going for any? You can see this raid got all the way back to his base. And he has very little map control. Only 16 T1 mexes. He's been raided into oblivion. 40 mexes, more than double for UD. And got quite a lot of assists on this air factory. Unfortunately, I can't see what's building in it. It looks like it's just inties. But some gestures would be nice, or bombers, because you're not really going to get. It's going to be tough to get AA everywhere. So bombers can do a lot of damage, and UD is just wrecking this. You can see maps like this really. 27 factories. He could do it. It's quite a few more even. Just mad to spam. Yeah, maps like this and some of the other maps you'll find on the ladder really exacerbate differences between, well, exacerbate is the wrong word, I'd say. Really, they just display the difference in skill between players more so than other maps that have previously been on ladder. Now there is a big rating difference between those two, but I mean, yeah, you can see how crushing it was, because there's just so much mechanically to do that the better player is almost always going to win. But also, you know, on that map there's kind of a there's a lot of possibility for sniping because the ACU you have to make use of it somehow. You want to probably move out your base, control some territory with it. But because it's so spread out, if you're moving around too much, then an air snipe is definitely possible. There's so much mass around that you could just get sniped by some factory you haven't seen, some factory building corsairs or jesters, or just a whole host of mantis appearing out of radar coverage and swarming you. So careful of your ICU on that map, Comet Catcher. Now we're on DeRosa. Now, if you don't know who made the map pool, if you haven't figured it out, maybe from a post on the forum which was made, it kind of gave it away. You should be able to guess actually from the maps. And we're in DeRosa. What kind of person would put DeRosa in the map pool? Well, a person who likes a lot of mass and has very high APM. So I guess I won't say who it is, but you'll know who it is. So we got Thomas Hayat again. Top quality ladder spammer. Good player. Better than, I'd say, most other players at his rating. Generally, there's some... I predict many players gonna lose a lot of rating on this map pool. So DeRosa, what do you do on DeRosa? Well, I'm actually just gonna slow this down so we don't miss the start completely. First, we press Control Shift and we see all these groups of 175 mass rocks. Oh, look at that. That's one way to kill your FPS. Just an absurd amount of mass on this map. So you want to get your first engineer, assist your ACU, and your ACU should just build a factory and just spam power. You can see Oxide just spamming power so that he won't have to move at all to build any of these B-gens, and he's just gonna assist the ACU building those B-gens. Delays the mexes quite a lot. He could delay them more, to be honest, but you can even just instantly start upgrading a mex if you want. But what you want to do in your build order, you want to rush a transport because you have to drop and get an expansion. So you just drop whichever side, doesn't matter which, you're the same distance from both. So that's the aim of the build order, is to rush a transport. Thomas is wasting mass. You just can't even use all this. There's no point in, I don't think there's any point actually giving all these manual reclaim orders. He will probably waste that mass. He's already upgrading mechs, as you can see. Spamming power here. He's gone for a bomber first out of the factory. He has 12 P-gens already. And he has a lot more reclaim. I think he's wasted some of it, but that's fine. He only wasted a little bit. So you want to rush your transport and make sure your transport is full, because you don't want to... If you lose the expansion, if you lose both expansions, of course it's GG, and not because of the mexes, it's because of the mass and also being able to put your production closer to your opponent. So there's mass, not so much on the side, but still quite a lot. You really just need to drag big long lines of factories and spam an insane number of engineers. Use attack moves as well to get the mass. And also I think some early mass storage is not bad, so your engineers don't lose attack orders or don't stop reclaiming and stuff. So this map it's about eco, it's about spam, It's about using all the mass. So let's see what happens. Let's see how the build goes, because Tom's gone for a bomber, and that's pretty cool. Oxide trying to be safe. Yeah, that's not the best resource bar. Needs to use all these resources he has. He's gone for the mexes now. He's gonna complete the mexes in his base. This guy should probably just be building factories with all these guys because he has full resources. And he should be able to kill this bomber. Where is it? Oh, it's coming to the base. And there's already an inti up, so there goes one. Oh, will the mountain fuck with him here? He changes his mind. Ground fires. That's pretty try-hard. I approve. Here's another ground fire. He's gonna kill Reclaim with this bomb, even if he doesn't kill the NG. Does kill the NG. Not bad, not bad. This transport. Oh, he actually made 2 transports. And he lands. Oh, yeah, that's one thing about the Aeon transport. It's quite funny that you can actually. It often survives longer than other transports because the engineers in the transport are basically hanging out the edge like it's a helicopter or something. And so they take shots. Thomas has the expansion already. Has dropped the expansion. Oxide's transport is much slower. Much slower. Where's that other transport? Here. Yeah, he should be using this straight away to be dropping the other side. Because if you get both, I mean that should just be an auto win, really. So I'm not a fan of this. Maybe he forgot he made it, or because he made it by accident or something, or either way, gotta be making use of that. So you can see factory spam, a lot of, that's pretty nice. All these air factories with the adjacency with the line of pigeons. You want to go for some T2, whether it's T2 land or air. Doesn't really matter which. I mean, you're going to want T2 land and air eventually anyway, so just pick one that you're going to go for first and get your T2 PGen spam going, because again, eco, so you got to make T2 PGens quick as you can. T2 land is done for Oxide, as you can see. That's fast, under 7 minutes. What a timing, not bad at all. And yeah, so we'll see the PGen go up. In mid there's 4 T2 PGens. Wouldn't recommend capturing them, but it's more reclaim to get. Oxide has gotten the top side, and again, actually you want to have a lot of your production in the expansion because the travel time is actually huge on this map, because you have so much mass. You want the production in the expansion because the expansion is what's going to take a lot of, it's going to be under pressure more so than your main base generally. So you want the production here. Your main base should have probably want the HQs in your main base, but want a lot of production in your expansion. Some fast T2 land factories. I expect we'll see them upgraded. Need more engineers in this area. Thomas moving in with Aurora. T1 land disappears extremely quickly on this map, but you gotta spam a fair bit of it at the start. T3 land upgrade on the way. T2 air on the way as well. So Thomas moving quickly through the text. That's good. You can see I did say T2 PGen spam, but Still probably don't want to put them directly next to each other. It is hilarious though. It really tells the story of this map that you just drag a line of T2P gents. A lot of T2 mexes. T3 mex should go up quick as fuck on this map. Gotta say as well, because again, you just assist it and get that storage up because it's quite efficient. You just don't need all this build power going around building mass storages on all these T2 mexes, which are quite spread out. Just concentrate the build power around and a T3 mex and rush it up as fast as possible, while these outer ones and the ones in your expansion are going to T2, because there is that much mass that is what you should do. So here we have a T3 mex going. She's going to assist and then storage for Oxide. It's already well on the way. Rhinos up in the expansion. We'll see some Rhino spam for a while and then quickly be moving to Bricks and Loyalists. And here again, I think we need more. We just need more of everything in this expansion here for Thomas. More factories to make more NGs, to upgrade more mexes, and to get T3 support factories up with assists from engineers. Get that hard production going. Experimental rushes also really good on this map. Spider gonna be really nice versus Harbingers, and a GC obviously just a good unit to have. Of course, if you're gonna make a GC versus Cybern, you have to have quite a few Harbs with it. Otherwise, a good player will kill it with Loyalists thanks to the stun. T3 land up, T3 support factory being assisted, T3 land up. We should see T3 air pretty quick. Actually, now that I say that, Thomas is going T3 air. Absolute necessity, of course. This Harb could do insane damage. Oh, he actually dropped it, didn't he? Yes, he did. Very nice. T2 mex is down already. He should just maybe just run up here and kill these other mexes. Bombers being used. Oh, Harb in the base. It survives. The transport does, and it should now go down to the gunships without too much trouble. Thomas has spammed so many inties, and yet a lot of this army died to bombers, and Oxide is making T2 air, which is killing this Harb over here. So not very useful to make so many inties without doing anything else with them. Not making gunships and stuff. Gunships really nice to help you react to especially fast moving units like Harbingers, and react to drops, which we can see happening. A SAM in the base for safety is not the worst idea when you get those T3 engineers out. Gunships doing a great job, but still mexes are going down. Reclaim wise, Thomas has more reclaim on his side left now. He needs to just be a bit quicker here, grabbing some of this. Air fight gonna happen. Oxide is just attack moving, and he's gonna lose all of his interceptors. Probably. Well, almost all of them. Not a huge deal, because on the bottom he has no hard production whatsoever in his expansion. Oh, well, he has a little bit, but that's far from enough. And he's going to pay for it. He's actually going to lose the entire expansion, I think. Unless his PD somehow kills everything. But it isn't gonna. And over here, he's actually having trouble Let's see what's going on mass-wise. Well, Oxide has the better production, or the better eco, 2 T3 maxes. Thomas, yeah, this expansion is dead now. He only has 6 harbs right now. 17 loyalists. And 25 rhinos. 25 rhinos actually pretty significant, considering there's only 6 harbs and 0 T2 land. So much T3 land production in the base here. Just unassisted support factories. Unless he gets this expansion back, it looks really bad for him. Really, he has no units anymore. I don't know why he has so few Arabs. I guess if you look at the base, we have no T3 mechs whatsoever, which Oxide rushed. The first one pretty quick, the second one didn't come too long after. And now has 2k overflow and he's just finishing a T3 PGen, so that's not going to help him either. Oxide, meanwhile, also massively overbuilding power. Time to reclaim these T2 PGens for sure. Well, I think if instead of raiding and losing the harbs to gunships, he could have had harbs here to defend his expansion, it would have been much better for him. I mean, it was a nice idea to drop here. Did some damage, but ultimately he's just dropping 1 harb into his enemy's production and did some damage but died. Over here he killed a T2 mechs. Don't know if he killed the second one, but just died to gunships. This guy here got a couple of mechs kills but died to gunships, and that just leaves you with not many harbs. So let's see, we do one more game. Let's see if we have another map that people haven't seen. Let's see. See, I'm looking through the vault and a lot of the games are mine, so that's no good. Okay, let's try this one. Firelight 5x5. So some people will remember these maps from the old Zep pool, which is a while ago now. That was back when we had, I mean, how many? I feel like it was over 100 maps in the pool. It was in or around 100. So a lot of maps. You got to make a selection, but you would just end up on Winter Duel half the time, so you know, it had its problems. Mountain versus Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem is Doom. If you know who Doom is, that's who Duke Nukem is. Mountain is Mountain, as far as I know. So Firelight, it's kind of an interesting map because it's not mirrored in the normal way. It's not just perfect. It's not a, well, I can't think of how to say it, what kind of symmetry it is, but You see what I mean? It's different here than it is here. So you get a hydro outside your base, so something to raid with a lab, because so some people will send their ACU to the hydro to make sure it doesn't get raided. Others will send NGs and a mantis, or well, whatever your tank of choice is. Doom got a lot of mass here. You get some reclaim in your base. This T2 transport wreck here is quite juicy. Mountain takes care of the mantis, no, the hunter. So there's also a mechs here. 2 mechs is here contested, and reclaim is dotted around the map, so remember where the reclaim is. You gotta, what is that, pillar maybe? Either way, that's a T2 wreck. This looks like a rhino maybe. A slightly juicier T2 wreck. Transport with labs. A radar. So all little bits and pieces here. Again, 2 contested mexes. And this plateau, these 2 plateaus in mid are kind of unusual. There's usually not much fighting here. Where do you send your ACU? Well, this is really the place where a lot of fighting happens, because you actually have space to use a lot of units, but this is extremely important here. There's just so many mexes on this plateau. I'd be inclined to say this is the more important area of the map. I don't think you can, oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, you can walk off here and here. So he's gonna take a step off and manually reclaim this stuff and then move to the bottom. Oh no, he's just attack moving for some reason. There's no point in giving an attack move when there's no reclaim around. Unlike most maps, it's not, this one isn't filled with trees. So ACU is actually on this plateau, which is unusual. Really restricts the ACU movement. I wouldn't advise going up here, to be honest. Just use tanks, NGs, and also if you're gonna send your ACU up here, then probably don't want to just make a defensive PD in the middle of it. Take some control of the map, you know, build the PD further. But I wouldn't really send the ACU up this plateau. Very restrictive. Bit of a raid here. Mountain hasn't managed to expand to this plateau. He got raided. Lost the engineer. No one grabbing the bottom. Now we have both players heading there. Doom's gonna get there first with his engineer. PD, obviously good choice to get. Still no Hydra for Mountain, and he only has 140 power income. Still has plenty of power really. No one is going for an air factory so far. Oh no, Doom. Build the mechs. Build the mechs. That's a travesty. Oh well. Still some reclaim to get here. And most of the spam for Doom going to the top. This ACU is actually so dangerous to just have your ACU here. That is still the ACU, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, holy shit. What is he? He's just okay, now he realizes. That's actually hilarious that he just had a move command into there. So it looks really good for Doom. Much more units. Couple labs in here, probably by accident. We have like almost 30 units, only 20 for mountain, so no. Yeah, I think it's just less efficient to have P-gens instead of the Hydro. He didn't get the reclaim. Doom has a bit more, and he got it a bit faster as well. This is just triggering. Anyway, Doom making good use of his units. He can actually kill this Hydro and then leave, but he decides to just take the mechs, and then that'll do him. Defensive PD should allow him to keep his mexes intact. And now he has the bottom mexes as well, so map control looks real nice. Mountain still has none of the mexes up here, which is painful. Now if Doom hangs around, he could get caught and lose his army and donate a lot of reclaim. And that's exactly what happens. Mountain moves in, gets a good fight, and now time to regroup again, suck up the reclaim. Radar can do so much for you if you get this nice radar in mid. Walls also good in mid, just to prevent any nonsense coming through here. But generally, it's just there's no value in sending units through the middle once the reclaim is gone. Again, I would like to see more focus on this bottom side, because I mean there's just so many mexes here. Five mexes on the plateau, only 2 on the top. Like, please. Now, what's the eco like? Yeah, nice balance from Doom. Not wasting power. You can see he has the nice balance. He's also not building anything, which would ruin that nice balance he has. Oh, I spoke too soon. He's building an air factory. He definitely doesn't have enough power for that. He has 240 power income. But I don't think he'll be making too many air units out of it once he realizes, yeah, how we get the power building. Fire more units on top. ACU for Mountain has now returned home to help out. Significant reclaim field here, which Doom wants to control. But I think he can just get the ACU kill here now. Bombers from Mountain can do a lot of damage. Should aim for the anti-air. Wow, okay, no. There's a lot of anti-air now, so Bomber's useless against this army. He has a 5-6, yeah. Anti-air's up already, so Bomber's not going to do anything versus that. Mountain might want to just go for a draw here. I think that would be not a bad shout for him if he can get it. Fuck, he's nearly getting the kill here. Not enough units. Not enough units. I don't think he gets the draw, does he? God damn, maybe he does. Keep going. He's so close. Just needs to get his opponent down to 2,500. A few more shots. Yeah, he's definitely got the draw now. Now control K. Yeah, just control K. And he draws him. Classic 5x5. Haha. He's not happy. He had it won, but I think Duke just sort of messed up. I think he could have actually easily avoided that draw if he used his mantis a bit differently and used them a bit better, but not bad, not bad. So you can see a bit of how this map plays. Interesting topography. A welcome addition to the map pool in my eyes. There's some other maps which are not so welcome because of various things, but a bit of variety is definitely a good thing. You can actually see, because it's really, you know, FA needs different maps to actually show off what it can do. A lot of balance is about, you know, what's possible depends on the map hugely. So variety in maps is necessary for variety in strategy in this game. Anyway, it's enough, and that's enough. I'll come back with another cast, maybe of just a more normal cast of some high level game, as in a single high level game. But for now, that's it. Go try out the ladder and try out some new strategies. Thanks for watching. See you next time.